today's SOAP session. Today's session is going to be over virtual team building. So the team behind all of this is the Student Organization Support Team. Starting us off is Mallory Bayan, who is the Assistant Director for SOS, Fraternity and Sorority Life, and the Terry Program. Next, we have Tavares Peterson. He's the coordinator for SOS. And then you have myself, Adriana Villegas, and Joanna Whitaker as the Student Organization Support Interns. So one way that we support you all is by hosting virtual office hours. These are open to all student organization members and advisors, and you can connect with us for any kind of questions via Zoom. You can see we have them on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at different times, and no appointment is necessary to join these, but if by any chance these days or times don't work with you or your schedule, you can feel free to email us and we can set something up. Our meeting ID and passcodes are there, but the meeting link can be found, or the meeting links can be found on our SCLC website on the SOS section under SOS Resources. So one big date to keep in mind for you all is re-registration. So the final deadline is on February 15th, so in a little over a week, and all RSOs must register in order to remain active. This is a much shorter process than before in terms of like registration. This is just updating some information for us, and it is to be completed via MindTracker. So just an overview of today's presentation. So hoping we are nearing the end of virtual semesters, hoping that, the fall we switch back over. But in this time that we have been virtual, it's been proven that staying connected and finding those ways to stay connected is still so important, especially in this time that, we're not able to see each other face to face. So team builders, whether in person or not, virtually, right, are still helpful to create cohesive and connected groups. And those groups that, the members feel closer to one another, you all are probably consistently talking to each other, they're definitely more enjoyable to be a part of, and in turn, more people are going to want to participate. So with virtual activities, and hopefully some of the ones we share, can be used to help lighten up a meeting. So, maybe you get through all your updates for the month, and then you close out your meeting playing some of these activities. Or, you can host a game night and they'll act as a distraction or a break from the semester. And with these virtual activities, they can be just as meaningful and effective online. And the great thing about most of these is that they can be easily converted to in-person events. So, given in this time that we've gone remote, lots of research has been done on the impact that being virtual has done. So, geographic distance is not destiny, says Wilson, whose research shows that communication and shared identity within a team can mediate the effects of physical separation. She is a doctor and professor of organizational behavior at the College of William and Mary. And yeah, it goes without saying that, just because we are separated physically, that does not mean we need to be separated from each other completely. So with these activities, hopefully they're not only fun, but you make note that these can make a world of a difference to some people. It shows those who are feeling alone and isolated that there's so much more out there and that they're still a part of something so much bigger than them. It helps those who are feeling unmotivated, we're all feeling, that virtual burnout, struggling, or hopefully not struggling too much, right? But, just having to navigate another virtual semester. And if you're taking a break and sharing those experiences of being virtual with one another, it feels better and it motivates you to keep on going. And again, just because we are virtual, that doesn't mean you shouldn't still be working to build trust and support among one another. All right, so getting into the activities. The activity is called Birth Map, and it's allowing you to learn more about each other. So it's gonna require using Google Maps because it allows you to create a collaborative map. So between everyone who's going to participate, everyone would go ahead and place a sticker or marker near or on where they were born. and everyone would just go ahead and take turns sharing a comment about the city they were born in or about themselves. So let's say they had, one of those outrageous birth stories, that's really memorable, or they had some kind of fun story they'd like to share. It can be as super lighthearted as that. It's just a great opener, and I think it really allows you all to learn more about each other, um, in a different way. Because we're all used to doing icebreakers like what's your favorite color, what's your dream job, and things like that. But this is just a different take on another kind of icebreaker that can be done. The next one, which I will be showing on the next few slides, requires just a quick PowerPoint or Canva presentation to be made. So each slide is going to be a different prompt of different favorite things to display. So each person will go and find actual objects to show on their screen that fit that prompt that was displayed. And what's great about this one is it can either be sentimental or um, great after some lighthearted icebreakers just to open up conversation. So, if you're wanting to keep it super lighthearted, you could do things like show us your favorite school supplies or show us your favorite cup, or, it can be as silly as that. Or if you're wanting to make it more sentimental, maybe you show, oh, what's the object you've had the longest, or something that reminds you of your childhood. So, these objects are just meant to kind of help open up the room or the virtual meeting room, right, to some conversation. So, I will go ahead and show you the kind of template you can follow when setting up this one activity. Here are so this is the kind of um, template to favorite things. This is the one that I actually created myself. So, just having on the top right those instructions, giving each person some amount of time that fits the description. It's cool if you do this one in breakout rooms too, because it's a smaller group and may make it a little bit easier if you're having more sentimental topics to talk about if it's a smaller group of people. Um, and then, yeah, so you'll see you'll get sent out to breakout rooms. And then at the end of that time where you're sharing within the breakout room, you can call everyone back and then have it open for those who are willing to share with everyone to go ahead and share. So if you see on the left, some items that I had put were finding objects that represented a favorite time or period in your life, something sentimental, so maybe you've owned it for a while or was gifted, something that represents a great success, your dreams or goals, and then something that represents you. So I used this one within a student organization, so it kind of lined up with the purpose of this presentation for us. But again, if you're wanting to make it lighthearted, more funny, obviously you can customize those to do that. And then the slide on the right is just kind of like an overall message kind of to wrap up the activity. So there's more to life than physical possessions, but it's always easier to talk about these things when there's a physical representation of it. So, it may be harder if you're just asking someone questions kind of like this, but if they have the object, they can hold it, they can look at it, and it kind of helps everyone hone in their thoughts on the topic. All right, these are probably a little bit easier to set up. They don't take a lot of planning. So one of them is called coffee break. So you'd schedule quick 15-minute coffee breaks. They're kind of in the matter like if we were on campus, you may run into someone and you would catch up. It would just be lighthearted, like very natural. So that's kind of what this would be too, or as natural as it could be given that it's scheduled. So it's just, kind of checking in, seeing how everyone is doing. Um, Nothing school related, work related, purely just checking in and talking between one another. Another one kind of works as like an opener to any kind of meeting. It helps, I would say, kind of like support one another by, you start the meeting by having everyone either share their rows, which are those things that are positive. So it could be, maybe someone did really good on an exam this week, or they got the job they've been applying for. So it gives the time for everyone, to congratulate them, give the attention that they deserve based on the hard work. And also sharing your thorn. So it's some kind of challenge or negative event that might have happened in the week. So maybe they didn't do so well on an exam that they were hoping to do. this would be the time that other members could go ahead and support them, tell them like, hey, it's okay, you'll get them next time. Yes, you can make those related to your org. So, if you wanted it to be a positive school related event, or maybe job related, again, this can be customized to suit your organization. And yeah, and with both of these, both those two and the ones shared before, it's so easy to customize these to in person because, if you're having a general meeting, it can be easily be a presentation that gets shared when you're all with together. All right. These, again, some of my favorites, tried and tested, so I can vouch for these. We have a scavenger hunt. So if it's virtual, you can make it be that they have their meeting background set, or have they have to go within their houses and go and run and find actual objects. With this one, it kind of works like with the one that I shared before, the favorite things. So per slide, just have it be the object that they have to go look for, and then, make it be a competition. Like the person who can find it the fastest, gets a point. And in person, I've seen that some organizations will run around and they'll have the question be like, oh, at this building, you'll find psychology classes. So they'd have to go run and find the psychology building. Um, yeah, so obviously that one's going to be more of an in person, but nonetheless super fun. The next would be setting up a virtual escape room. So I have seen student organizations make them on Google Forms. So it's kind of, it'll get created like a test almost. So each question will have the right answer. And unless you have the right answer, you don't get to move forward. Um, and again, it can be customized and made into an ending activity to a meeting or for a game night. This one is a lot of fun, especially if you may like incentivize it. So the first team that finishes gets a prize. And with this one, it's cool because you can set up the breakout rooms to be randomized. So you kind of help break up any small groups that your organization may have and open up the communication between members who may not be talking to each other already. The next one is called Seconds Impressions. So it's kind of like first impressions, but you get a couple more seconds to do so. So with this activity, you would be able, or you would need to have breakout rooms. Again, it's just like a slide per question, or a question per slide, and everyone has a minute to answer within their group. So ideally, it would be about 2 to 3 people since it's going to be a minute. But again, if you're going to have bigger groups, you can make the time longer. And at the end, you'll challenge everyone to remember everyone else's answers. So you'll try to get everyone to be so focused on the communication and the conversation that they have with one another, that maybe that person who can actually remember it all gets a prize. And I'll go ahead and show you what this one might look like on the next few slides. So you see, again, this is just going to be questions that they'll answer super lighthearted. So things like dream job or why they chose their degree, something people should know about you when they meet you. All expenses paid, no corona present, where are you traveling? So, it can be super random questions. And, I think the more the more you personalize these questions, the better you may be able to learn about your members. All right, so just some dates, and again, just a quick reminder for you all that re-registration will be closing on February 15th. That's in 11 days, so plenty of time to get that started and submitted. And yeah, a part of the SOS team, we have the continuing SOAP programs, but we also have MindTracker 101. So with MindTracker 101, there's just going to be an overview of all the tools that MindTracker has and things you should be taking advantage of as members or advisors in student organizations. So the list of them is there, but I just wanted to go ahead and share that today we actually have the first one. Joanna will be having a presentation over the cost centers from 1:30 to 2. And just as you may have found the link to this one, MindTracker 101 is also on MindTracker. And then these are the rest of the SOAP presentations for this semester. So we're going to be covering a bunch of topics, and hopefully they're going to be useful not just for virtual semesters, but also providing tips in how the information we share during our sessions can be converted to in person. So, if you want to take a picture, you can go ahead and do so, but we'll be sharing these through our listserv and on our social media as well. And yeah, as always, the SOS team is always here for any problems or support. We have those office hours, we're there the entire time, and we're always checking our email. So you can please feel free to reach out to us and don't hesitate to do so because we'd be more than happy to help you all. You can always stay up to date with all of our programs, not just the SOS, by finding us online. So you can follow us at UTEP SELC for our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Or if you're wanting to subscribe and watch our videos and all recorded sessions on YouTube, you can look up UTEP Student Engagement and Leadership Center. Big thank you to everyone who joined the session and is now watching this video on YouTube. We will see you all next time.